Okay, now we go to 3.2, blood circulatory system in human. Okay, human and animal. Human and all vertebrate. What is meant by vertebrate? What is meant by vertebrate? So you have learned this.
They have backbone.
Yes, good. They have backbone. Yeah, still remember. Animal that have backbone. Ada tulang belakang. So all vertebrates such as mammals, reptiles, amphibians, birds and fish. So they all are considered as complex organism and have a specialized transport system that we call blood circulatory system. Blood circulatory system. Sistem peredaran darah. Okay. So in order to bring the blood throughout your body, we need the blood vessel. We need blood vessel. We need saluran darah, blood vessel to carry the oxygen throughout our body. Okay. We also need an organ that we call heart. So this heart play an important role in the blood circulatory system in human and in the other animal. Okay. but there are difference in some group of animals. There are different in some group of animal. Okay, we see for the fish. All this group of animal have heart. Okay, but you see they have a different structure of heart. Okay, for fish only have one atrium. Okay, atrium. One atrium and one ventricle to receive and transport the blood out of the heart. One atrium, one ventricle. Okay, amphibian. Amphibians, frog. Okay, we have they have two atrium, left and right atrium, chamber, the chamber of their heart, and one ventricle. Yeah, one ventricle. Two atrium, one ventricle. Okay. And the rest they have artery, they have vena, they also have capillary. Okay, the third group of animal is reptile. Okay, crocodile, lizard. So they also have two atrium and one ventricle. Two atrium and one ventricle. Two atrium, two separate atrium and one ventricle. Okay. And then the blue color here refer to deoxygenated blood. Deoxygenated blood. And the red color here is refer to oxygenated blood. Okay. So this one have lungs. Okay. Reptiles have lungs. Okay. In fish we have gills. Okay. Capillaries in gills. We have this one in gills in fish. So the exchange of gases occur in the gills for fish. What is meaning for 2A and 1B? Okay, 1A stand for atrium lah. Easy for remember. A, atrium. V, ventricle. V, ventricle. The chamber, the space in your heart, or the structure of the heart, difference in each group of animals. Okay. We have different group of animals, right? So they all have different structure of heart. Like fish, they only have one space for atrium, one space for ventricle. Atrium is actually the space for heart to receive the oxygenated blood. the first space receive the blood, and ventricles the second space to pump the blood out of the heart. Okay. Amphibians already know that they have a double. They have lungs and also moist skin. Okay, amphibian. And in reptiles have lungs, same with mammals, humans, and birds. Okay, but reptiles have two atrium and one ventricle, same with amphibian. Okay, now the fourth one, mammals and birds. Okay, mammals and birds. This one we have two atrium and two ventricle. Two atrium. So human, mammals, and birds have four chambers in their heart, two atrium and two ventricles. Okay, two atrium and two ventricle. Upper part is atrium, bottom part is ventricle. Okay, four. Yes, Yu Hong. Now, what question?
I just not very understand that
Yeah.
the mammals and birds are,
Huh?
is that same with the human?
Yes. Mammals.
So that means human also got two-way and two-way lah.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Right. Mammals here consists of human lah. Human. So human also considered as animal. We have animal, we have plant. So human consider in the group of animal. Okay. And then animal, there are many group of animal. We have mammals, okay, reptile, amphibians, fish, and birds. Okay, five. Mammals, reptile, amphibian, fish, and birds. Okay. This one form 2 ada belajar tak form 2 biodiversity. Okay, the one who the characteristic of the animal that give birth, lay eggs. So that's the categorized or group of animal. So here, this group of animal have different structure of heart. Because now we learn about transportation of oxygen. Transportation of oxygen, transport system in organism. So we focus on how to transport the oxygen throughout the body in animals, in plants, and also in human. Right. Can I? Okay, the structure of heart. Okay. So fish. Fish has one atrium, one ventricle. Amphibian have two atrium, one ventricle. Same goes to reptiles, two atrium, one ventricle. And mammals and birds have two atrium and two ventricles. Okay, the difference. Difference of blood circulatory system of vertebrate. Vertebrate only, not invertebrate. Okay, kan Boleh beza tak? Nampak beza kan? This one, fish only one. Amphibian 2-1, reptiles 2-1, and mammals and bird 2-2. They have 4 chamber. This one 3 chamber, 3 chamber. Human, animals, other animals, mammals have 4 chambers or space, and fish only got 2. 2 chambers in their heart. Okay. Can you remember this one? Ni tak susah ni. Remember fish and mammals. Remember fish and mammals and birds. Birds and mammals are the same. Fish 1 1, mammals 2 2. And the rest amphibian reptiles 2 1. Okay. Now we go to the blood circulatory system in human. Okay. Right, human blood is pumped out from an organ known as the heart. Okay, human has heart with the size of a fist. The size of a fist. Kita punya heart sama besar dengan genggaman tangan. Dia punya size, size of a fist. Okay. Our circulatory system, human circulatory system, consists of blood vessels, heart. Okay, blood vessels consist of artery. Okay, artery. Second, vein, and the third one is capillary. Capillary. In between artery and vein, we have blood capillary. This one we also have learned in chapter 2, blood capillary, network of blood capillary around the alveolus, blood capillary. Okay, next, the structure and function of the human heart. Okay, human heart have 4 chambers. Okay, four chambers, 2 atria, 2 ventricles. Atria is the plural verb from atrium, from atrium. 2 atrium or 2 atria and 2 ventricles. Okay, we see the structure of our heart. This one you can remember or not, the structure. The real one, the real structure of our heart looks like so complicated, right? Nampak macam susah aja nak ingat ni ya. So look, we have left and right. So this one, left and right was vice versa with our hand. Okay, here consider as our right hand, but for heart, this is left. This part, the red part is left. Left atrium and left ventricle. Left atrium. Atrium is the upper part. Upper part. Okay, upper part. Yeah, atrium. And the below part of the left side of your heart is ventricle. Bahagian bawah. Okay. Next, at the right side, we have right atrium. Okay, right atrium. And the bottom part is right ventricle. Okay, there are differences between atrium and ventricle. At the atrium, either left or right, where the walls are thinner. The wall of the atrium are thinner compared to the wall of the ventricle. Okay, can you see here? The wall of the ventricle are more thicker than atrium. The wall of ventricle more thicker than atrium. Why? Because it need to stand high pressure. Need to stand high pressure when the blood flow out of the heart. When the heart pump up the blood either to the lung or to the whole part of the body. So it need to stand high pressure. That's why the wall of the ventricle thicker than atrium. Okay. Now we see there are dot arrow, dot blue arrow and red arrow. So this dot blue arrow refer to the oxygenated blood that enter the right and enter right atrium and right ventricle. Okay, right atrium and right ventricle. And the red arrow refer to the oxygenated blood that enter your heart into the left atrium and left ventricle. Okay, okay now four chamber, right atrium, right ventricle, left atrium, left ventricle. Okay, now we have four blood vessels also, four main. Sekejap, saya tukar color. Okay, four blood vessel. Dia punya saluran. For the blood flow in and flow out. Okay, we have first one is vena cava. So vena stand for vein. Vena cava. Okay, number one. Number two, for the blue also, we have pulmonary artery. For the deoxygenated blood flow out of the heart to the lung. We have pulmonary artery. Vena cava receive the deoxygenated blood from the body cell. Okay, and then pulmonary artery pump the blood out from the heart to the lungs to get the oxygen. Okay, from the lungs, the blood will flow through the pulmonary vein. Number 3. Okay, so the arrow is red, means that they have received the oxygen from the lungs. So they come back to the heart from pulmonary vein, and then the heart pump the oxygenated blood to whole part of your body through aorta. Fourth one, aorta. Okay, four chamber and four blood vessel. Vena cava, vein. Pulmonary artery, type of artery. Number 3, pulmonary vein, veins. Aorta is artery. So we have 2 arteries and 2 veins. Artery is aorta and pulmonary artery at the upper part. Number 2 and number 4 at the upper part. Number 3 and number 1 at the side. At the side of the pulmonary, at the side of aorta and at the side of pulmonary artery. So quite the punya positions quite below, quite below. Okay, later I will show you the. Okay, this one yellow box here is the function, function function of right atrium, the valve. Okay, later. Yeah, I want you to see this one. Right, this is the simple one. Actually, I want you to draw this one in your science practical book. Draw. Either you follow the picture, trace. You trace from the textbook, or you can draw it by yourself. Okay, I want you to draw so that you can remember the structure of the heart. Okay. So yeah, we have a right atrium, right ventricle, left atrium, and left ventricle. Okay, we also have 4 blood vessels. The first one, for the blood flow into the heart is vena cava, VC, vena cava. And then the blood will flow out through pulmonary artery to the lungs, go to the lungs to get the oxygen. After the blood get the oxygen, become oxygenated blood, it will come back to the heart through pulmonary vein, PV, pulmonary vein, and then the heart pump the oxygenated blood throughout to the whole body through aorta. Okay. Right? For blood vessel, make sure you can imagine the blood flow. into the heart from the, okay, this one from the body cell, from body cell, from whole part of your body, whole part. Okay, whole part of your body into vena cava, and then flow through the pulmonary artery to lungs. Okay, and then from lungs go to pulmonary artery, pulmonary vein. Okay, pulmonary vein from lungs. Okay, come back to the heart through pulmonary vein, and aorta pump the oxygenated blood to whole part of the body or to the body cell. Okay, can you imagine? Right. Now, the other part of our heart is the valve. 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 The human heart got valve. Okay. Function of valve is to allow blood flow in one direction. One direction. Let's see. We have bicuspid valve. Okay. Allow blood in only one direction. One direction. To make sure the blood flow in one direction only, and to prevent backflow. Prevent backflow. Okay. We have three types of valve. Okay, three types of valve. The first one at the right atrium, to separate right atrium and right ventricle, we have tricuspid valve. After this, you take a look at your textbook. Tengok balik buku teks. Okay, here, this one, tricuspid, tricuspid valve, tricuspid valve, V-A-L-V-E, valve. Function of valve is to allow blood in one direction and prevent it from going back or return back to the right atrium. Once it's flow into the right ventricle, the tricuspid valve will close to prevent the blood going back to right atrium. Prevent the backflow. Okay. Okay. Second valve is here at the left side, left atrium and left ventricle. We have bicuspid valve. Bicuspid. Bi means two. Two flap. Two flap of valve. Two flap. Tri means three. Three flap. Bi, two flap. Tri, three flap. We cannot see the flap here. This is a side view. We need to upper view of the heart. So nanti saya akan tunjuk yang PowerPoint punya. Okay, this one bicuspid means two flaps. Okay, so same function, prevent backflow. Okay, cuma dia punya nama beza, different name, tricuspid, bicuspid, and the other two is same name. Between the right ventricle and pulmonary artery, left ventricle and aorta, we have two valve, same name, semilunar valve. Okay, semilunar valve. To prevent the backflow into the ventricle. Prevent backflow of blood into ventricle. So we have semilunar valve. So three type of valve lah. Tricuspid, bicuspid, and semilunar valve. Got three valve. Okay, and then you remember the function of valve to allow blood flow in one direction only. One direction only. Okay. We'll finish at 9. Okay, so we stop here. This next one is the comparison between between artery and capillary. Comparison between vein, artery, and capillary. Okay, I want you to. Alright. Wait, Alright, can you see my whiteboard here? Boleh nampak saya punya whiteboard? Yu Hongji, boleh nampak saya punya whiteboard tak?
Boleh, boleh.
Okay. Now, the structure of our heart. I want you to remember. Always remember this one. Okay. Okay. This is your heart. We separate into 4. Okay. 4 chamber. Here is. Which one is left? Which one is right? Okay, remember, it vice versa with your hand. Right and left hand. So this one will be right. Your left hand will be right side of your heart. Right atrium. The upper part is atrium. So we have right atrium and left atrium. Okay. Below part is ventricle. Right ventricle and left ventricles. There are 4 chambers in your heart. Okay. Can you remember? Right, and then we have 4 blood vessels. Right, 4 blood vessels: vena cava, pulmonary artery, pulmonary vein, and aorta. So where are their position? Okay, so the first one, you remember there are 2 blood vessels at the upper part of your heart. 2 blood vessels. These two are these blood vessels are artery. Okay, the upper parts are artery. I want you to remember the most important one is aorta. Now try to remember aorta. This aorta pump up the oxygenated blood to whole body. This aorta pump oxygenated blood. Oxygenated blood contain more oxygen to whole part of the body. So this one is aorta. Right. Okay. These two are artery. So if the first one is aorta, so the second one will be pulmonary artery. Okay. The upper part is artery. The first one is aorta. Remember this one, and then the other one will be pulmonary artery. Okay. The other 2 blood vessels. Okay. Here. Right. For the below part is the vein. Vena. Vein. This upper artery, this 2 is vein. So, what's their name? Can you remember these 2? Okay. We have 2 name of pulmonary, right? Pulmonary artery and pulmonary vein. So, where are the pulmonary vein? Okay. Pulmonary vein, you cross with pulmonary artery. Cross. Cannot be the same side. So here number 3 is the pulmonary vein. Must cross. P stand for pulmonary. Pulmonary. But here is a vein, pulmonary vein. The upper here is pulmonary artery. And the fourth one should be vena cava. Okay, vena cava. Can It's actually easy to remember. Okay. Remember the words, the term with the correct spelling. Correct spelling: aorta, pulmonary artery, pulmonary vein, cross with pulmonary artery, pulmonary vein, and then the other side is vena cava. That's all. The first picture is very complicated, the real one. So this is the simple one. Make sure you can remember this one. So the blood flow, where it come from? The first way. What is the first blood vessel that go through? into the heart? Which one? Number 4, 2, 1, 3. Which one? Where the blood? Ah, right. Actually, it happened at the same time. Your blood flow occur at the same time. Flow at the same time. This side enter out and enter out at the same time. So, I want you to start with vena cava. Start with vena cava lah because it take the deoxygenated blood. Okay, from vena cava, the blood flow into the right atrium. Right atrium. Okay, flow into the right atrium. Okay, to the right atrium. Pun sibuk je. Okay, sorry. Saya buat aspiration sikit. Right atrium. Left atrium. Okay, this one right atrium. Alright, deoxygenated blood. Deoxygenated blood enter vena cava into the right atrium and enter right ventricle. Okay, enter right ventricle. Go through pulmonary artery and go to lungs. Go to lungs. From our pulmonary artery go to lungs to get the oxygen. Okay, so from the lungs, the blood, the oxygenated blood, okay, after the lung it will become oxygenated blood. Before the lung is deoxygenated blood. So this oxygenated blood will flow back to the heart through pulmonary vein. Enter the left atrium. Enter the left atrium, enter left ventricle, and the heart pump the blood out through aorta. Where? To go to the whole part of your body. Whole whole part of your body. Whole part of your body. Okay. Then vena cava, this deoxygenated blood. Where you get the deoxygenated blood from? The whole part of body. Okay. See the difference and comparison from vena cava, deoxy, enter right atrium, enter right ventricle, okay, to pulmonary artery, go to lungs to take the oxygen. We need the oxygen to do activity. Okay, and at the same time, from the lungs, it carry the oxygen to your heart again. Come back to left atrium through pulmonary vein. Okay, enter left ventricle, and then the heart pump the blood out of the aorta to whole part of your body, to the cell, to give the oxygen to the cell. Okay, understand this one? Right. In between here we have valve. Don't forget the valve. Okay, in between atrium and ventricle we have valve, and also here also got valve. Okay, remember at right atrium we have tricuspid, valve. Lambatnya dia tulis. Okay, this one bicuspid. Okay, bicuspid valve. And this two is semilunar. Semilunar valve. Okay. Boleh screenshot nanti lukis dalam buku. Siapa yang guna phone tu screenshot, lukis dalam buku nanti. Okay, dah. Dah screenshot. Make sure you can imagine the blood flow, the structure of your heart. hold it lah. How many chambers? Which one right atrium, which one left, which one right ventricle, which one left ventricle, and where's the position of tricuspid, bicuspid, semilunar valve, and the 4 blood vessels, vena cava, pulmonary artery, aorta, pulmonary vein. You boleh ingat yang ni pun dah cukup. Ya. Yeah? Okay, nanti kita masuk yang comparison. Next class lah. Okay, done this one. Alright. Okay, saya nak tengok attendance. 13 lah. 13. Mana saya punya OneNote tadi? 13 only. Copy. 3J. Now is week 7. Tak ada. Kenapa tak ada ni? Baik. Mana yang paste? Ni tak dapat pula. Okay lah, apalah. Ada lagi. Cheong Kit Ho. Siapa lagi tak tulis nama dekat attendance? Ada lagi tak tulis? Monitor Durvesh ada?
Ya, cik.
Terkejut saya. Okay. Durvesh ada lagi tak tulis? Tak ada dah kot. 14. Tak boleh nak copy paste. Okay lah, after this lah. 79:14. Okay. So we stop here. Dismiss. Can dismiss now. Okay, thank you.